Before I give you this list, I want to be very clear. These are not automatic exemptions for every senior in America. Some of what I am going to share depends on your income. Some depends on your state. Some depends on your county. And some depends entirely on whether you filed the right form or asked the right question at the right time. But here is what I know for certain. Many seniors keep paying these bills not because they don't qualify for relief, but because nobody sat down and said to them, "Have you checked this?" So that is exactly what we are going to do today. We are going to check 5 bills. Number 1, federal tax being withheld from Social Security benefits. Number 2, the enhanced standard deduction for seniors on your tax return. Number 3, Medicare Part B premiums and programs that may help pay them. Number 4, property taxes and the local relief programs many people never apply for. Number 5, IRMAA. Medicare surcharges and what to do if your income dropped. This video is a checklist, not personal financial advice. For each of these 5 bills, I will explain what it is, who may qualify for relief, where people usually make mistakes, and the exact question you should ask before you keep paying. If that sounds useful to you, go ahead and hit the like button right now and subscribe. It takes 2 seconds and it helps more seniors find information like this. Let's start with something that surprises a lot of people. If you receive Social Security benefits, there is a form called the SSA-44. It comes in January every year. If you look at that form and see a box showing federal taxes withheld, it means money is being taken out of your benefits before it ever reaches your bank account. Now, that is not always wrong. But here is the thing that many people do not realize. Some seniors set up that withholding years ago, back when their income was higher. Or a tax preparer suggested it at some point and nobody ever revisited it. Or the person simply assumed it was required by law. It is not required by law. Whether your Social Security benefits are taxable at all and how much depends on what the IRS calls your combined income. That is your adjusted gross income plus any tax-exempt interest plus half of your Social Security benefits. If that total falls below certain thresholds, depending on your filing status, you may owe little or no federal tax on your benefits. This situation is especially common for people whose income changed after full retirement, after losing a spouse, after stopping part-time work, after a pension ended or a rental property was sold. Your income situation from 5 or 10 years ago may be very different from where you are today, and what made sense then may not make sense now. The mistake most people make is assuming that because they set up withholding at some point, it is still the right decision. They never go back and look. Here is the exact question to bring to your tax preparer, or to call the IRS about directly. Am I having federal tax withheld from my Social Security benefits, and based on my current income and filing status, is that withholding still necessary? To check it yourself, pull out your most recent SSA-44. Look at box 6. That is where federal income tax withheld will appear if any is being taken out. Then compare it to your actual tax liability on your most recent return. If you want to change or stop the withholding, you can file a new Form W-4V directly with the Social Security Administration. You do not need anyone's permission to check this. The second thing to check involves your federal tax return. If you are 65 or older, you may be eligible for a higher standard deduction than younger taxpayers. This is built into the federal tax code specifically for older Americans. It is not a secret. It is not a loophole. It is a deduction that exists, and many seniors either do not know about it, or they assume their tax software or their preparer caught it automatically. Sometimes they do, but not always. Programs and preparers depend on the information they receive. If your date of birth was entered incorrectly, if a detail was missed, or if nobody asked the right questions during the appointment, the deduction can be skipped. The amount you can deduct depends on your age, your filing status, and whether you or your spouse is also 65 or older. blind taxpayers may qualify for an additional amount. These details affect the exact number on your return. This is not about a special hidden benefit. It is about making sure you are not missing a deduction that was specifically designed for taxpayers at your stage of life. Here is the exact question to ask your tax preparer. Did my return include the enhanced standard deduction for seniors, and do I qualify based on my age, filing status, and income? If you prepare your own taxes, look at the standard deduction line on your return and compare it to the IRS table for people over 65. That table is available on irs.gov. Search for standard deduction and look for the additional amounts for seniors. If something looks off, it is worth asking a qualified preparer to take a second look at recent returns. Now let's talk about Medicare Part B premiums. When your Social Security deposit arrives each month, the Medicare Part B premium is usually already taken out before it gets to you. You never see that money. For most people, that premium is over $170 per month. Over the course of a year, that is more than $2,000 coming out of your Social Security before you touch a single dollar of it. But some seniors may qualify to have help paying that premium through a program called the Medicare Savings Program. There are actually 3 levels of this program, and they go by abbreviations. QMB stands for Qualified Medicare Beneficiary. This level may help pay both Part A and Part B premiums. It may also help with deductibles, co-payments, and coinsurance. SLMB stands for Specified Low-Income Medicare Beneficiary. This level may help pay the Part B premium. QI stands for Qualifying Individual. This level may also help pay the Part B premium. Eligibility depends on your income, your countable resources, and the specific rules in your state. And this part matters. Some states have more flexible rules than others. What your neighbor qualifies for in their state may not apply to your state at all. What a friend's income limit was in a different year may have changed. One thing that causes a lot of people to give up before they even apply is the word Medicaid. These programs are connected to Medicaid rules, and when people hear that word, some automatically assume they do not qualify, maybe because they own a home, or because they think Medicaid is only for people in nursing homes. Please do not self-reject. Let the state office actually check your numbers. You may be surprised. The exact question to ask your state Medicaid office is this: I want to apply for a Medicare Savings Program. Can you check whether I qualify for QMB, SLMB, or QI? You can find your state's contact information at medicare.gov or by calling 1-800-MEDICARE. Do not rely on what a neighbor or friend says. Their situation, their income, their savings, their household, their state may be completely different from yours. Before we get to the last 2, and these are important ones, take 1 second and leave a like on this video if you are finding it useful. And drop a comment with your state. Just your state, no personal information. It only takes a moment and I read every comment. Now let's keep going. Now, property taxes. I want to spend more time on this one because this is where I see the most confusion. And I want to say this upfront and clearly. There is no single national property tax exemption for every senior in America. None. Property tax is local. It is set at the state level, the county level, sometimes even the city or township level. That means the rules in one county can be completely different from the rules in the county right next to it. But here is what is also true. Many counties and states do offer property tax relief programs specifically for seniors, and many people never apply, simply because they did not know the program existed, or because nobody reminded them of a deadline. Some of the programs that may exist in your area include a senior homestead exemption, which reduces the taxable value of your home, an assessment freeze, which caps the assessed value even as the market value rises, a school tax exemption, a circuit breaker credit, which limits your tax based on a percentage of your income, a property tax deferral, which lets you delay payment until the home is sold. And in many areas, there are separate programs for widows, widowers, and homeowners with disabilities. Some people may get a large reduction. Some may only get a small credit, and some may not qualify at all based on income or other factors. But the mistake is going year after year without ever asking your county what exists. If you have lived in the same home for 20 or 30 years, the market value of that house may have increased significantly, but your income probably did not go up at the same rate. You may be sitting on a home worth far more than when you bought it, while living on a fixed income. That is exactly the situation many of these programs were created to help with. Here is the exact question to ask your county assessor or local property tax office. I am over 65. What senior, disability, widow, widower, homestead, freeze, deferral, or circuit breaker property tax relief programs are available in this county, and what is the deadline to apply? Please do not rely on a YouTube video for your county's specific deadline. Deadlines vary widely, and they change. Call your county assessor's office, your county tax collector, or your local property tax office directly. You can usually find the number on your property tax bill, or by searching your county's name plus the words Senior Property Tax Exemption. The last item on this list catches people off guard, especially after a major life change. IRMAA stands for Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. It is an extra charge added to your Medicare Part B and Part D premiums when your income is above certain levels. It does not affect everyone. But for those it does affect, it can add hundreds of dollars per month to what you pay for Medicare. Here is the part that surprises many people. Medicare does not look at what you earned this year when it sets your premium. It looks at your income from 2 years ago. So if you had a high income year, maybe you sold a property, took a large distribution from a retirement account, or were still working, that income from 2 years ago can generate an IRMAA surcharge, even when your income today is much lower. And if something significant changed in your life after that high income year, if you retired, if your spouse passed away, if your hours were cut, if you lost a pension, if a one-time income event is not going to repeat, you may be able to ask Medicare to use a more recent year's income to set your premium instead. The form used to make that request is called Form SSA-44. For surviving spouses, the situation can feel especially difficult. Income changes, filing status changes, and then a Medicare bill arrives that seems higher than it should be, based on where things actually stand now. That is a real experience for many people going through grief and financial adjustment at the same time. And the important thing to know is that premium may not be permanent. The mistake people make is assuming that a Medicare premium notice is a final number that cannot be changed. Sometimes that notice is based on old income, and the process to request a new determination is more straightforward than it sounds. Here is the exact question to ask Social Security. My income has gone down because of a life-changing event. Can I file Form SSA-44 to request a new IRMAA determination? You can download Form SSA-44 directly from ssa.gov. You can also visit or call your local Social Security office and ask them to walk you through the process. Before the recap, I want to say something briefly but clearly. When the topic involves seniors, Medicare, Social Security, and tax relief, scammers pay close attention. They read the news, they follow what people are searching for, and they will try to use this kind of information to take advantage of people. Real government agencies do not call you and demand gift cards. Real agencies do not threaten arrest over the phone. Real agencies do not ask for your full Social Security number out of the blue from an inbound call. And caller ID can be faked, so even if the number looks official, that does not mean the call is genuine. If someone contacts you and says you have a senior benefit waiting, but you need to pay a fee or verify your details to unlock it, hang up. That is not how any of these programs work. Here is a phrase worth remembering. If the call is real, they can put it in writing. Hang up. Look up the official number yourself from Medicare.gov, SSA.gov, or your county's official website. Then call back directly through the real number and ask your question through the right channel. Never give personal information to someone who reached out to you first, claiming to offer a benefit. Here are the 5 things to check before you keep paying. 1. Check whether federal tax is being withheld from your Social Security benefits and whether that is still appropriate based on your current income. 2. Check whether your most recent tax return included every senior deduction you qualify for, including the enhanced standard deduction for people 65 and older. 3. Contact your state Medicaid office and apply for a Medicare savings program. Ask specifically about QMB, SLMB, and QI. 4. Call your county assessor or property tax office and ask what senior relief programs are available, what the requirements are, and when the deadline is. 5. If your income dropped after a life-changing event, ask Social Security about filing Form SSA-44 to request a new IRMAA determination for your Medicare premium. None of these are automatic. All 5 are worth checking. Save this video so you can come back to it, and then send it to one person you know, a neighbor, a sibling, a parent, who receives Social Security, pays Medicare premiums, owns a home, or files a tax return. This is the kind of checklist people usually find after they have already been paying too much for too long. Leave a comment with your state and which of these 5 you are going to check first. Just your state, no personal information. I read every comment, and it helps me understand where people are watching from and what is most useful. And if you are looking for something to watch next, there is a video on screen right now that I think you will find just as helpful. Go ahead and click it when you're ready. I'll see you there. This is general information only. It is not personal tax, legal, or financial advice. Rules change, and state and county programs vary widely. Always confirm your specific situation with the relevant agency, your local office, or a qualified professional that you trust.